Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm not going to be doing my usual haul video that I do on Sundays because I really didn't get anything in this week in PR. I also didn't really buy anything this week. I thought I would just take a little break, kind of take a breather, and talk about some things that I hauled over the past couple of months. I said I was going to be better about doing these haul updates and letting you guys actually know my thoughts on things that I've tried, and I have really failed miserably. I think I did an update video in January where I was ranking everything that I tried, and that's usually what I like to do, but now it's been a couple of months, and if I had to rank every single product I've hauled, this video would be way too long. So instead, what I decided to do is just talk about the 5 best and 5 worst products that I tried, and you can just assume that everything else kind of falls somewhere in the middle. I like it, but I don't necessarily love it and use it constantly, and I think just talking about like the best of the best and the worst of the worst is a little bit more on the helpful side for you guys, hopefully. So let's start out with the worst products, and then we'll kind of go into, end the video on a positive note. So at the very bottom of the list would have to be this I almost said Kat Von D, KVD Good Apple Foundation Balm. So this stuff, when I heard foundation balm, I actually thought it was going to be like a balm texture, that it was going to feel really nice on your skin. But this is just a cream foundation that these have been out forever. I remember these in the 90s being around, and I didn't like them then, and I still don't like them now. They just don't get along with my dry skin. Even when I was a teenager, I had very dry skin, and I had a hard time finding foundations that actually looked good. So this is pretty much feels exactly like those old cream foundations. It sits on top, it clings to every dry patch, it accentuates every pore, every fine line. It looked horrible. I really didn't like this. I know I've already talked about that in a video, and I also showed some close-up pictures of what it looked like on my skin. It wasn't pretty. So you guys probably have already guessed that this was at the bottom of my list. Another foundation that really didn't work out for me the past couple months was the new Huda Beauty Faux Filter Foundation. This is something that she revamped. I think it existed before, and then this is the new formula. I didn't like the old one, and I still don't like the new one. It's still a little bit too matte for me. And it's dry on my skin, and it does kind of a similar thing to the KVD one, where it just like makes all my pores show up, it settles in fine lines, it clings to the dry patches. And also this has a very thick texture. It's moussey, but also really thick, and just kind of feels like I'm putting this heavy layer on my face. And these days, it could just be more of a personal preference thing too, but I really enjoy more of the tinted hydrators that are coming out, and like the really light coverage foundations. So this was another thing this month that I really just did not like. Also, from JOAH, we had this Crystal Glow Tinted Luminizer stick. And this one I actually thought was going to be like a tinted luminizer. This product was very confusing to me, actually, because it comes in all these different shades, like a foundation would, but yet it's called a tinted luminizer. So I was like, is it a foundation? Is it supposed to have coverage? Is it just supposed to be like a highlighting stick or a luminizing stick? I had no clue how to use this. And when I kind of looked into it a little bit more, I guess it's something that you can either use to highlight with, or you can put it all over your face, kind of under your foundation as a base. You can do a lot with it, but basically it's just supposed to give your skin a little bit of glow. Personally, I like something a little bit more like the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion, where it's a lighter texture, because this just felt very greasy on my skin. And when I put it all over, it's a stick, so it's thicker, and it just didn't quite set down all the way. It did leave my skin feeling dewy, so if you like that, and if you don't mind if something doesn't set down, then you might like this one. But for me, it just felt sticky, and I thought, I'm never even going to be able to wear this in the summertime, or if it's humid outside, I think it would be even worse. And also, even though this does come in different colors, I felt like it didn't really add any coverage or anything like that. So I was just very confused by this product. I was not a fan. And then also we have the Melt Mary Jane palette. I know I just talked about this very recently, earlier this week. but this is already sitting at one of my biggest disappointments in a while, just because I just felt like the formula was so off. And when I first bought the palette, there were a couple of reviews out there and a few people were complaining about the shimmer shades, and I didn't listen to the reviews. And now there's a ton of really, really nice positive reviews out there. But when I talked about this in my recent video, a lot of you guys had the exact same experience as I did. So once I heard from you guys, I definitely felt a little bit more vindicated, and that, I wasn't alone in my opinion. But honestly, they were such a disappointment. They have hard pan, they crumble everywhere, they're really difficult to use. I'll link the video above in case you want to check it out, because I did do close-ups of the palette and how the shades actually swatched, so you can really see how they pick up and all that. And honestly, it's sad because the palette is so beautiful. If you like cooler tones and kind of more of that smoky, sultry vibe, I think it's a gorgeous palette. And also the matte shades are beautiful. I thought they blended so nicely, but the shimmers are just such a struggle. And for $58, it's a lot of money to spend on something that is so inconsistent. Honestly, I think I would just prefer to use either my ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette, which has a lot of these same shades, or the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And then the fifth and final product that disappointed me the last couple of months was the Benefit They're Real Magnet Mascara. This had so many lofty claims and, all of this magnet technology, and it's supposed to make you have these incredible lashes. And I saw some initial reviews that looked really, really positive, but I didn't feel like this gave me length or volume that much anyway, at least not like what they were claiming. And it also smudged like crazy all underneath my eyes, and it wasn't supposed to do that either. So this one was sadly a pass, and kind of reinforced in me the reason why I don't spend a ton of money on mascaras, because there's so many great ones at the drugstore. I feel like, why do I even bother spending all of this money on these when half the time they let me down? I mean, once in a while I do find a really good one, but a lot of the time it's really not even worth it. So let's move on now to the products that I absolutely loved the last couple of months. And the first one, let's start out with a mascara that I thought was amazing, and that is the Makeup Geek Extension Effect Mascara. I've been wearing this one in just about every video. I love it so much. It has a really nice wand. It's kind of, in a way, reminds me of like Too Faced Better Than Sex or the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, but I like the results that this one gives even more than those. And this one is not expensive. It's about $12, so it's maybe like a couple bucks more than drugstore, but really not bad at all. And this one does not smudge, it doesn't flake, it stays on beautifully. I'm even wearing it on my bottom lashes. Like, this is one that I feel comfortable doing that, and I know it's not gonna go anywhere. And it just gives me such nice length and volume. It curls up my lashes. They stay like that all day. So it's really like the perfect mascara. I will absolutely 100% repurchase this one again. Another product that I've been loving is the Huda Beauty Balm Brows. Now, I know, like, I've heard from some of you guys that you had issues with this breaking on you. And the reason for that, I think, is just because of how teeny tiny this is. I'll show you guys a close-up and compare it to the Jason Wu brow pencil from Target, which I also really love and would highly recommend that one too. But you can see how tiny the Huda Beauty one is in comparison to that. And I think because it's so small, if you put any kind of like real pressure on this, it's probably gonna break. So you have to be super, super careful. I know some of you guys said that you were really careful with it and it still broke. So I don't know, I haven't had that experience myself personally, but I did notice that like Huda had sent me 3 different shades, and initially I thought I was gonna use the lighter one, but with these, because I'm making such tiny, light little strokes, I actually used the darkest shade that she sent me, even though my brows are not really that dark. And that's kind of something new for me. So I don't know if maybe like people who are using the lighter shades maybe feel like they need more pressure to get it to show up, and maybe the darker shade would fix that, because I know for me, like, this is the rich brown color. I don't think it's the darkest one they make, but it's the deepest one they sent me. And you know, when I swatched them initially, I thought this is going to be way too dark, but it actually works out fine. And I just do these tiny little feather-like like strokes. And this is the one brow product that I can really get my brows to look like actual little hairs. So it's amazing. I haven't used anything else since I bought this. But again, if it's not in your budget, there is a really good brow product in the Jason Wu line at Target. It's not quite as skinny as this, but I think that the medium shade, if you're looking for like the perfect ashy toned brow product, definitely check that one out. It's the most perfect color ever, and it's definitely more affordable than this one, so that's another good one. Another product I absolutely loved, I actually did a whole video on this one already, so you probably know that. It's the CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instant Wrinkle Blurring Pressed Powder. So I've been using this as a foundation. It does come in multiple different colors. They also have a translucent shade, but strangely, I've heard some kind of negative stuff about that. I know Emily Noel tried it and didn't like it, and a few other people I watch said that the translucent didn't look good on their skin, but for whatever reason, this just kind of airbrushes my whole face. And in that video, I showed me applying it on my skin in natural lighting, and you can really see like how flawless this makes your skin look. So it's incredible. And I am somebody who does not wear powder. I don't like powders, but this is just different, and it is actually marketed towards people with more aging skin. It's from their Simply Ageless line. So, you know, being over 40, it can definitely be a struggle to find something that isn't gonna like settle into lines and make me look older than I am. And most of the time powders do that, but this one doesn't. It's just however they formulated it, it's gorgeous. So I'm wearing it today, and I know I'm going to be wearing this a lot heading into the summer because powders are just so like easy and convenient, and it gives a really nice like medium coverage. I use it with the little puff that they gave me. I'm not sure if you use it with a brush, if things will come out a little bit differently, but I just swirl it around. I just, swipe it on my cheeks like that, my forehead, my chin, and I'm good to go. So I think this stuff is awesome. All right, so when it comes to blush, I have actually, I don't know if this is cheating, if I do two favorites as, one as like my number 4 pick, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I talked about these in the same haul video. And this is from Moira Cosmetics. So I have the Oh La La Blooming Series palette. This is a blush palette. It does have one highlighter in it, but the rest of the blushes are just stunning. I'm wearing this one, this cooler tone pink, and their blushes are the most long-lasting powder blushes, and especially for the price. This is $17 for this palette, which is really good. And also their single blushes are not only stunning, they have this really beautiful embossed kind of floral and butterfly pattern in them, but they're incredibly pigmented. You just kind of tap your brush in really lightly, it picks up tons of product, and they last the entire day. I mean, really, and they're only about $6 or $7. So these were a great find. I definitely want to get more colors. I got 2 that are relatively warm toned. I have the shades Sweet Peach and Mellow Pink. I thought Mellow Pink from the website was going to be a little cooler, so I might go back and get a cooler tone shade, but these are a little bit more on the light side. They have some deeper shades as well, so they probably have something for most skin tones. I believe the palette is sold out, or at least it was last time I checked. Hopefully they'll be restocking it soon, but these, oh my gosh, their blushes are so good, and I've really been enjoying their eyeshadows as well. So for me, I've just been having a lot of fun discovering new products from Moira, and they're an indie brand, so I feel like they're more up and coming, but the prices are really good, and so far I think the quality is awesome. So then for number 5, and by the way, these are not really in any order, they're just like a top 5, bottom 5, is another kind of cheat here. But again, I got these 2 palettes at the exact same time, and it's these 2 Viseart palettes. So Viseart was having a 40% off sale a couple weeks ago now, and I just thought it was a perfect opportunity to pick up a couple of palettes that I've been wanting, the Paris Edit and also the Paris Love Letter. So I'm wearing mostly the Paris Love Letter on my eyes today, but I did use a crease shade from Paris Edit because it has these really gorgeous cool tones in it. So I picked up this cool tone pink for my crease from this one. And then in Paris Love Letter, I used this kind of like purpley blue on my lid that is so stunning. And also I used a little bit of this silvery gray as well. And these shades, they are so buttery. They blend like a dream. Before this, I only had these two little tiny mini Viseart palettes, and I thought that they were great, but I'm just really kind of getting more into the brand now, especially because I just feel like they're so user-friendly for me. They don't have like the most metallic shimmer shades in the world. So if you're somebody who likes more impactful eyeshadows, you may not really be a fan of these, but I know I get asked all the time what brands are a little bit more friendly towards like aging eyes, or if you have textured eyelids and you don't want to wear something super metallic. I think their shimmer shades are beautiful. They give you a nice sheen, but they're not over the top and they're not glittery. So the mattes also they just blend themselves. And I'm somebody who is not great at blending eyeshadow for the most part. So I just find these very user-friendly, and the color stories are gorgeous. So I'll show you quickly some swatches of each palette. First, we have Paris Edit, and this one is really nice and cool tone, but at the same time, you do have a couple of warm shades sprinkled in too. So I love the versatility of it. I love that you can do an all cool tone look, but you can also do something a little bit more warm and kind of peachy. And then Paris Love Letter is the same way. You have some really beautiful cool tone shades, but also a lot of that warmth. You have that coral color, some peachy tones, and some warm browns. So I just think these look so pretty for the summertime, and I've just found myself reaching for these over and over again, which is why they made it into this video. So anyway, guys, those are my top 5, bottom 5 things that I tried in February, March, and I guess part of April now. So I don't know that I'll do another update maybe till like the end of May or so, but if you like these videos, let me know down below, and I will certainly keep doing them. Hopefully it's helpful just to know what the best and worst were. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me on your Sunday. As always, I appreciate it so, so much. And if you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you consider hitting that subscribe button, especially if you like dupe videos and saving money on makeup. I do a lot of drugstore videos. So anyway, thank you all so much, and I will see you in my next one. Take care, guys. Bye.